Good to hear. Thank you very much indeed.
Now, campaigners around the world are marking the 10th anniversary of the Ottawa Landmine Ban Treaty. More than 150 nations signed that treaty, which outlaws the production and use of the weapons.
Well, Stuart Hughes lost his leg in a landmine accident in 2003 whilst filming in Iraq for the BBC, and as you can see, he joins us now. Good morning to you. Well, first of all, let's talk about what did actually happen to you in Iraq, Stuart.
As you say, I was working for the BBC covering the Iraq War. It was a very ordinary day. We went to film a trench that the Iraqi forces who were retreating towards Baghdad had left behind. I stepped out of the Jeep, immediately stepped on what turned out to be a landmine, which blew part of my leg off. I was in some ways the lucky one. The cameraman I was working with, Kaveh Golistan, thought we were coming under mortar fire. We all thought we were coming under mortar fire. He tried to run for safety. Actually, he ran further into the minefield. He stepped on one landmine and fell forward onto a second, so he was killed instantly. As I say, I was the lucky one. I just lost part of my leg. The surgeons in Iraq and here in the UK tried to save my leg, but I became another statistic. Someone is killed or injured by a landmine every 20 to 30 minutes, and on that day, I became one of them.
Those are global figures, are they? Someone killed?
Yeah, someone is killed every 20 to 30 minutes. Someone is killed or injured by a landmine somewhere in the world. There are about 70 countries that are blighted by landmines. Iraq is just one of them. Wherever you go in the world, you're likely to find a country that has a landmine problem.
So how much difference has the treaty made?
It's made a very big difference. Over the last 10 years, landmines have become stigmatised to an extent that I think has even surprised the people who were behind the Ottawa Treaty. So in that sense, it's been a huge success. Now there are only two countries in the world, Burma and Russia, that are known to be using landmines. But of course, the nature of landmines is that once they're in the ground, they continue to be a problem for many decades. They're made of plastic very often, so they can sit in the ground undisturbed for many years. So even if another landmine was never laid again, and unfortunately they are still being laid, they are still being used, they'll continue to be a problem. And still being
made, and by countries that might surprise us.
Countries like Russia and Italy.
Italy, I mean, it's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, Italy is one of the big producers of landmines traditionally. There's no doubt that the Ottawa Treaty has made a big difference in the sense that although landmines are still being made, there are very few countries using them. But as I say, that's only part of the story. There are many millions of landmines in the ground around the world, so this is going to be a long-term problem.
The point is now to detect them and get them out of the ground.
Yeah, and that's very labour-intensive work. There are lots of high-tech ways of helping to clear landmines, but at the end of the day, it comes down to men and women with prodders covering the ground inch by inch, clearing landmines. This is a very labour-intensive work.
Take years and years. OK, Stuart, thank you very much.
Stuart, thank you very much for highlighting the issue. Thank you. Good to see you.